Growing up in Richfield was a wonderful experience because it was casual and intimate and friendly and supportive, and I really enjoyed my childhood.
His father was an attorney and his mother was very active in the community, and so I think they had really a lovely childhood. It was a diverse, interesting group of people.
Carvel and Wanda were amazing people. They gave every wonderful opportunity to their children, and they inspired a love of learning. They inspired interest in the arts. They took their children to the major cities in the country, trips to New York City. When Mike came to the University of Utah, he was more than ready for it. I don't think the university knew what it had in store when Mike Mattsson arrived on the campus.
He came to the university in 1956. It became his love and affection. He was very involved in student government, in his fraternity.
I think that was really my education, was serving in the fraternity and in the interfraternity council and ASUU. I was fraternity advisor, then student activities advisor, then I worked in the union building and worked in the Dean of Students office, and then I thought, without a PhD, I'm limited what I can do at the U, what I can achieve. So I left and I went with TerraCore. And the day I went to TerraCore, which was a thriving company at the time, I knew I had made a mistake.
From the minute he left, he knew it was a mistake because he missed the U. And so his first opportunity was to come back at actually at the hospital.
They were looking for a director of development and community relations in the Health Sciences Center. And the committee ended up with two candidates, one who had fundraising experience and not much of a personality, and the other who didn't have fundraising experience, but a nice personality. And my line was, they hired me out of the blue because I hadn't either. I realized the university was where I derived my enrichment, my satisfaction, my rewards, and so I was delighted with the opportunity to go back. R.J. Snow named me as Director of Development after 5 years at the Health Sciences.
Mike was a development professional before anybody even knew what development was.
It was recognized in the 60s and 70s that for the university to achieve its aspirations, it needed more support from the private sector. I did not go out and actually hustle bucks for the university. We made people aware of the contributions and the potential of the institution, and they responded.
He explains it. He passionately shows you why it's so important and how it can be done. And then he lets you know how much fun it would be if you'd participate.
If you were to take a map of the University of Utah and remove all of the buildings that were made possible in large part because of private support, or to take away the scholarships or the research programs, you would have a vastly different institution.
He tells us the University of Utah story and what it means for the state.
Our state is vastly better because of the presence of the university. Other states have state universities and colleges, but especially in this area, and it's the little engine that could.
He does it in a way that gets your attention and interest, and then you can feel his hand slipping into your wallet.
It was finally Chase Peterson who elevated him to vice president, and of course it was exciting for all of us and for him in particular.
Chase Peterson used to say at our president's seminars, "We're not going to fleece you as you go out the door. We've invited you here because we seek your understanding. And the reason is, with your understanding, we are confident we will have your support."
Back in the late 70s, early 80s, our small staff in development would perhaps bring in maybe $3 million a year or something in that range. 30 to 40 years later, that could be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a trajectory that nobody could have ever imagined.
He is a fundraiser personified, and there's no question that he's as good as they come.
To me, Mike and the University of Utah are inseparable. They are one and the same.
He believes the University of Utah. He is a Utah man, sir. There's no question about that.
Everything we do, I have to say, sooner or later ends and starts at the U.
He could have gone a lot of places and done a lot of other things with his many talents, but he decided to stick with the U and make a difference where his heart was. Mike has tremendous balance in his life. His family is so important to him.
My dad, we used to always tease, he'd take our family photos from the time we were little all the way, even to now, he'll show his colleagues.
Mike would show up at work in the morning and you never knew it might be family photo time.
We bike, we hike, we boat.
Every August, we spend a week in Sun Valley. Now we're up to having to rent 3 condos to get everyone there. But it really is a wonderful time together. We have a family cabin in Fish Lake, which came down through generations, and that is also one of our favorite places on earth to be.
We're like a band of gypsies. We're as tight as a family can be. You alums, numbering over 220,000 people, are the guardians of the University of Utah. They protect its heritage, they monitor its behavior, and they are the constant factor in the development of the institution. University presidents come and go, vice presidents for development come and go, but the constant is the Alumni Association and its many members who are advocates, donors, and friends of the institution. I'm especially honored to be the recipient of this award from my fellow alumni, and I thank you all.